everyone, for Bible today, we're going to continue reading into the story of Absalom and what happened. Just do a little recap. Absalom was trying to take over his father, King David's kingdom. He wanted to become king. We know that was a wicked thing of Absalom to do because God had anointed David to be king, not Absalom. We also know that David is on the run again, and Ziba, who is Mephibosheth's servant, had brought food and donkeys for David and his family to eat and ride on. And Ziba had lied to David and said that Mephibosheth wanted to become king as well, even though Mephibosheth was giving the food and the donkeys as a gift to David because he cared about David. While David was on the run, he had a few friends who were in Jerusalem yet, and they would help David by sending messages to him just to see what Absalom was doing. So we are going to continue with the story now. It is based off of 2 Samuel 18. So if you would like, you can continue reading in 2 Samuel 18 on your own. Absalom's death and the return of David. David, the king of Israel, watches his many hundreds of soldiers as they march past him. It is a great army that leaves the gates of Mahanaim. All the soldiers are friends of David, and as they go by, they greet him with respect. Absalom sent messengers throughout the entire land, calling the Israelites to battle. They had to assemble at Jerusalem. Thousands went to help Absalom, for they desired to have another king. David still has many friends throughout the entire land. They leave their homes and go to help David. Of course, a great army comes together in Jerusalem. But with David, thousands of soldiers gather together too. When Absalom is ready, he marches on with his army. He makes Amasa, the son of David's sister, or David's nephew, the general. They go over the Jordan and march in the direction of David. David is told about this. He divides his army into 3 groups, and over each group he places a commander. David really has 3 generals. They are Joab, his brother Abishai, and the stranger Ittai. The enemy is close by. How sad! David's heart shrinks within him when he thinks about this. His enemy is Absalom, his own child. David watches his army as they march past him. They nod to their king as though they would say to him, "Do not be afraid, we will be brave fighters." David would like to go with them, for he would like to protect Absalom. He probably could save Absalom from being killed, but his servants will not allow him to go. "No," they say, "you must remain here, because if you are slain in the battle, then everything is lost. Besides, while you are in the city, your prayers can be of help to us." So David stays in the city. Once again, he calls the 3 generals together and commands them, "Deal gently with Absalom." He means they must not kill Absalom, but to spare his life. All the other officers of the army are told this also. These friends of David march forward towards the battlefield, and David stays in the city, waiting with suspense the outcome of the battle. Through a great forest, a young man is riding on a mule. He forces the animal forward. He looks around again and again. He is Absalom, the wicked prince, who had the courage to rebel against his father. The battle has not been in his favor. His army is defeated. His soldiers are fleeing, and thousands are slain. They are slain by the soldiers of David. Absalom notices that he has lost the battle. The sound of rejoicing from David's soldiers is heard all around. The only thing that he can do now is flee as fast as he can. This is why we see him riding on a donkey so fast, for he does not want to be slain. He cannot die. He is afraid of death. In fear, he flees, and his hair becomes entangled in a low-hanging branch of an oak tree, under which he is riding. The mule which he was sitting on runs off. He slides off the animal, and there he hangs between heaven and earth. Now he cannot flee anymore. He is hopeful one of his friends will see him. It wasn't one of his friends, but an enemy instead. This soldier quickly tells Joab. "Why didn't you kill him?" Joab asks. "I would have given you a rich reward." "I may not do that," answers this man from the army of David. "Didn't the king say that Absalom must be spared?" Joab mumbles something and says, "I have no time to talk to you." He takes 3 arrows and kills Absalom. Joab could have set him free, but he had no desire to do so. Absalom the rebel must be killed. They take his body from the oak tree and put it on the ground. They throw stones on it, and that is the end of the disobedient prince. We will read more in this story tomorrow.